this should mark the end. We obviously have way more than enough. And it's good that we were sort of collecting two different types of the same ore, because then we have sort of two lots of two different areas of remainders. I really like Pluto. I don't know why, but it's in my opinion similar to Mercury, and it's completely desolate. There's villages, but who cares? You get meteors here and there, but who cares about that either? On Mercury, the sun is very, very close and absolutely huge in the sky. You can see Venus and Earth from Mercury. Here you can see Charon, Nix, and the other moon of Pluto. You can also see the sun and Neptune, but the sun is very far away. I don't know what it is, but this planet is quite nice. Anyway, up next we go to Eris, and I think Eris will be similar, only the sun should technically be even smaller. There they are. I think the sun should be smaller though, from this distance. I think it would be more of just a bright, it would just be a bright ball, I think, at that distance. So irritating. Schematic number 9, which looks identical to all the others. There we have it, a tier 9 rocket, which must be launched on a tier 3 pad. This looks insane. So now we just need to convert the tier 8s to tier 9s, and then we can go to Eris and finish, well, do the hardest challenge. No, it's not the hardest challenge. We need to get enough dark iron to replenish these and then hope that we have enough. I did the calculations in my head, which means that they're wrong, but I did estimated calculations and I believe we should have enough. Yeah, so this means I have to shift to get out the rocket, which leaves me in F5 mode. Notice how this is shaking a little bit less, I think, than the tier 7 and tier 8 rockets. Although it is quiet right now, the audio thing is going to loop back and it's going to be mega loud, like there. And here we go, tier 9 rocket to Eris, which is a pretty eccentric dwarf planet. I actually think the audio automatically cuts off when you get into, or like above the atmosphere, because as it should, you shouldn't be able to hear it. So we can go to Eris. We unfortunately can't go to the Kuiper belt or Make. Mildly irritating, but we can go to Kepler 22b once we collect the dark iron. Either way, furthest planet from the sun, or furthest dwarf planet from the sun, the tiny, tiny sun all the way over there. That looks like Make. That looks like Haumea, I think, and it's just them two. Very nice. I like this place. It reminds me of Pluto and sort of Mercury. Are they blue bricks? Oh, they're green. So what are we going to be fighting this time? Ooh, very good. Loads of chests in this one. I really want more with filled oil canisters. Just for the oil, really. And there we go. Final boss's spirit. The electric rocket. Ooh, sacre bleu. So, what this means is we need to continue searching. I got the one I want, but I need the one I need. Or rather, I need the one to progress. So this means we need to continue searching for dungeons. Also, on another positive note, we're looking for dark iron. And I've said this before, but iron ores, well, ores even that are white, are very difficult to spot or search for, even purely because tin exists on most of the planets and is white as well. So it's very easy to get the two confused. Fortunately, dark iron, carbon as well, can't forget that, and mercury, I think it was, were black ores, making them very easy, or much easier to spot. You might see that death animation a fair few times if we get another electric rocket schematic, which we do. This is just going to be like mercury, I'm telling you. I can't remember how many dungeons I went to on Mercury. I think it was like 6 or something, and we were getting everything but the schematic we needed. But I got another tier 10 electric rocket. Yay. So 6.25% chance of not getting the thing. Okay, yeah. We do it this way. 6.25%. It's almost a reject H0 situation. I did Google it, it should be here. Rage, yes, literally. I googled it, it should be here. This is not okay. Easily. If it's not, then that's an insanely ridiculous Type 1 error. Whoa, are there 2? Oh, now that's clearly a dungeon that we just went over. Is that another one? I think there's 2 here. Oh yes, there are. Dungeons 6 and 7. Oh my goodness, thank goodness I did it. Reflected defense. Sure. An ore bag. Okay. Right. So now we finally after 6 dungeons have what we want. I'm going to go to dungeon 7 real quick, just because I also get more loot, more oil as well. That's mainly what I'm there for. I also get golden apples, sure, because golden apples are cool. It is also night time, so mobs are going to be spawning on the surfaces. I really don't care. Now that we've done this though, we can return back to landing site, which is all the way over there. We can return back to the landing site and just begin digging. Maybe. I don't know. We need 3. Oh, for goodness sake. Don't even try. There's no point. 1 tap. Honestly, both of them. So we need 3 stacks of dark iron. That's it. But I'm going to get 4. Just because. Oh, for goodness sake. This is what I mean by just annoying now. It's not a challenge, it's just annoying. By the way, to get... Assuming it's equal probability, 1.6% chance is the probability of getting what I needed on my 6th attempt. So, I mean, I entered this planet. Oh my god! That is unfathomably unlucky. I was going to say, if that is the tier 10 rocket schematic, instead of the tier 10 electric rocket schematic, then sure. I mean, I can accept the fact that the probabilities are maybe 0.5%, but 0.5%, 50% each, but nah. It is insanely unlikely to be in this position. Notice how I'm saying unlikely and not impossible, because if it's impossible, the probabilities will be 0. And, you know, I was entertaining the fact that, you know, there should be more than just the next rocket schematic or next tier schematic on each planet. And yes, I stand by that statement. But I do not stand by... But, you know, actually, with that, you have to accept the fact that you can be insanely unlucky and unfortunate to have to go through 7 dungeons and only get 1 schematic that you need. I think, in fact, that ties the number of dungeons I had to go to from Mercury. But that being said, on Mercury, there was more than just the tier 4 schematic, I think. And also, I was very confused with Venus, needing to go to Venus, until I googled it and found out that, no, I do need to go to Mercury. That is another dungeon there. I am not going to run through it, I'm just going to note its location and move on. Yeah, I said water shouldn't really exist here. If water was here, it would literally just be balls floating around. Actually, it might behave like water on Earth a little bit, only much easier to move around and sort of sloshy because the gravity is weak for a start here. We also can't forget that there is no atmosphere as well, but that doesn't really affect it that much. Actually, let's look at the path that I've gone through. Okay, landing site. We went all the way around here, all the way up here, found nothing, came back. There's dungeon 1. All the way along here, dungeon 2, dungeon 3. Then I went in a straight line, dungeon 4. Then I went in another straight line, dungeon 5. Oh, this is the diagonal path I'm coming back on. Then I decided to turn. Dungeon 6 and 7. Dungeon 8, which is unexplored. And now I'm just following the diagonal right back to the landing site. That's ridiculous. Mining will be much easier, especially given that I don't need to collect 15 stacks, which is what I would have needed to get had I not decreased the recipes. And 15 stacks doesn't seem like much now, but, you know. I mean, I think what they should have done is they should have had it it should have been 1 to 1 instead of 1 to 5 at the very beginning. And then slowly increase it over time. And I say slowly, I mean slowly. Like, not 1 to 2 immediately afterwards. I mean 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 1, then 1 to 2, then 1 to 2 again, then 1 to 3, and then have this one be 1 to 5. Just so that the amount of time you need to spend on the planets is roughly constant or increasing if you want to recycle the rockets, which I chose not to because I wanted to collect them all. I might collect them all again if I do this on a server, but I'll probably do it all off camera because I've done it on camera once, and it will probably be a pain to edit as well. Let's not forget that. Also, I guess while we're here, we can do this. The tier 10, that's the electric one, the tier 10 rocket, and the tier 10 electric rocket. Doesn't really make a difference. There's the electric one, Venus rover. There's the tier 10 one, which looks identical to all the others, as I've been saying. There we go. Alright, now it is time to make the 3 tier 10 rockets. I did do a little bit of an undercalculation, so instead of needing 6 stacks of tier 4 plates at the very beginning, you actually need, I think I said like 6.5. Either way, what I had to then do was, with the remaining 12 or so tier 1 plates that just happened to be in the chest, I then brought them all the way up to tier 10, which was quite fun. And then at the very end, we began building the 3 tier 10 rockets at the very end of the game. This is literally the final thing to do. Oh, for goodness sake. Electric rocket. Okay, so it's not called the tier 10 electric rocket in here. And there we go. This here is the tier 10 electric rocket we'll be keeping. That's pretty cool. And then I need to make 2 more. So there's 1. There's 2. And we have all of the ingredients needed to make the electric rocket. Acquiring 2 tier 10 rockets is just ridiculous, but you know, it's the final hurdle in terms of progression, so I understand it. Press the wrong button. You can actually do this, which is completely pointless, so just stick in F5 mode. That right there is the tier 10 rocket. Very cool. Though I have to say my favourite out of all the combustion rockets might be tier 3. So we've been to this system, Lysander's Star, because they require tier 3. We've been to everywhere else. We can't go to Kepler 62, Kepler 69 or Kepler 47. So our last destination will be the Candyland of Kepler 22b. We don't actually need oxygen here now that I think about it. Yep, we do not need oxygen at all. There's the star. Nothing else in the sky. It is unfortunately night time. And we are 700 blocks up. This is not okay. Okay, really? So it's slightly weaker than Earth gravity. There are literally trees made out of diamonds. Candy canes. Candy canes. Icing. There's just cakes lying on the floor. There's chocolate and syrup and stuff. What a strange planet. But we aren't here for emeralds, diamonds, and stuff. That's tin. What we are here for is... oh goodness, I can't remember what it's called now. Platinum, that's what. Oh, I didn't find a village. I'm pretty sure villages should exist here, but I don't care, so... If this is Kepler 22b, where's Kepler 22a? It must be even closer to the Sun, or, well, Kepler 22 even, is the name of that star. I need the chests! I need the chests! Right. Tier 10 electric rocket, compressed platinum, Tier 10 nose cone, Tier 10 rocket fins, Tier 2 batteries, the Tier 10 engines, 2 Tier 10 rockets, and 3 chests. There we go. We have the final object, which will put down the vehicle charging pad. I want a powered rocket launch pad. Okay, one moment. Also, I didn't record that, but what happened was when I broke it, or when I broke one block, the whole thing broke. Actually, they all do that anyway. Ah. Right. No. No. Oh my god. Yep, after all of this, we can't even use the electric rocket because I didn't realise it needed a powered rocket pad, which requires even more not tungsten, titanium, I think it is. Either way, thank you so much for watching this entire series. We are going to be doing a multiplayer server, preferably on Twitch, or I'm going to be streaming it, so I'll then release the VODs. I probably won't edit it because editing has just been painfully annoying recently. Yeah, I will not get rid of this world. I'll still keep this world. I'll still keep the mod pack, just in case I one day decide to go back and use the electric rocket for something. I don't know. I don't need it anymore. I've done everything. This is the end of this mod pack, and this will be the end of this will be the end of Commatacraft. Once you've gotten to this point, you've completed Commatacraft. You don't need to do anything else, but obviously once we get to the end, we're going to be building, we're going to be doing all sorts of things on the server that I managed to configure, and I'll be streaming that stuff on Twitch. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well so you won't miss out on any of the new videos that are going to come out. Thanks for watching in general.